On YouTube tonight, we're going to do a couple of test shots. We're going to use the comparison Crosman 2240 with an LDC monocore, brand new tank, brand new CO2 cartridge. You can see I'm going to pop the seal, and we're going to compare this to the Pedersoli 209. Now this is 177 caliber. It uses a 209 shot shell primer. We're going to be shooting 2 shots out of this gun tonight. We're going to be shooting one gamma round ball, as you can see in my hand, and we're going to be shooting an exploding pellet from Russia. So we're going to try both. Now the comparison test is going to be how much power this little Pedersoli has, and the only real way to compare it for you air gunners is compare it with a 2240. So there's our test target right down there. It's just a piece of wood hanging from the wall, and we're going to fire a couple shots first with the 2240, and then we're going to move on to the Pedersoli. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break the seal on the new CO2 cartridge right there. We're going to take one cock, take a shot. All right, one more shot just to get it primed up. All right, there we go. So we're primed. You can see that that's very quiet with the LDC. Now we're going to be using standard Crosman rounds. This is the high speed non-lead with the plastic base, and we're going to load the first one in, and we're going to take a shot at that piece of wood, and we hit it. And we're going to come over and we're going to take a look at how deep this went in. Now the 2240 basically stuck the head of the pellet in, did not penetrate through the back side, and it's just kind of stuck in the wood there. So the next shot we're going to take is with the moderator off of the 2240. It'll be a little bit louder. So we're going to unscrew the moderator here. And we're going to take one more shot without the moderator. So there's not much of a power difference. There's the second shot. It's a little bit louder, and if we go over to the wood, we can see the penetration levels were identical. These are basically almost flat to each other. So that's the power of the 2240. Next we're going to load the Pedersoli, and we're going to be shooting the gamma round ball. Now, to load the Pedersoli, it's a 2-step process. First, you unscrew the ramrod, and we're going to load the pellet in breech end, and you just take the ramrod and poke the pellet down. So I usually set it with my thumb like that, then go down so the ramrod, that's it, bottom right out right there. Put the breech rod back. Next we're going to load the 209 primer in. Now to load the 209 primer, you cock it back, you open up the safety, and this is a nice little feature that they have there, if you could see that. It just knocks out the primer after it's done, or if you get a dud, you just knock it back. You don't even have to really use any tools or ram anything down. So we're going to take the 209, and we're going to load the 209 in. Now these things got a little hairline trigger there, so you got to be careful loading it. Primer's in, close the breech, ready to fire. Now the same thing, going to take our aim. Much louder. We're going to take a look and see what happened. Now we definitely hit here. Oh yeah. As you can see now, this guy here has a little bit more power than the Crosman 2240. It went through. The pellet's nowhere to be found. It probably ricocheted back, and that's what the noise I heard. I wasn't too concerned because at that point it doesn't have very much velocity. But that is the shot out of the 209. We're going to do an additional shot, and we're going to be using the exploding pellet. First thing we're going to do is remove the primer. So cock it back, lift the breech, knock the primer out. It fell. You can see a little bit of grease on my finger from the shot. And this time we're going to be loading the Exploding Pellet. That's the Exploding Pellet. Has a little bit of gunpowder in the end and plastic based. So when this hits, it should explode and give us light and sound. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to load it with the gunpowder facing forward so it doesn't get shot by the primer. I have a funny feeling that this is just going to explode. We're going to put it down the breech till it stops. And then we're going to load the 209. And I have a funny feeling that this is just going to pop out the front. It's not even going to go, but we're going to see. So we're going to put 209 in. There we are. We're going to close the breech. And that is ready to fire. So now we should get a double fire. One from the gun, one at the board. And a lot louder. It did come out. It hit. And oh man, a lot more smoke on that. That pellet, that pellet being plastic penetrated as well. And went through. It didn't really give a secondary explosion, but I could tell you that the smoke is pretty putrid, pretty heavy, and definitely I coughed a couple times when I breathed that in. So that's the differences. So that's the Pedersoli 209. This gun was brand new. It's about a little under $300. Cabela's did have it for $149 when they closed out on it, but it is a fun little gun. I haven't really found any problems with mine, except this screw has a tendency to get loose here for the breech. Nothing a little thread lock won't solve, but pretty fun gun. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good night.